this they had to watch through the mirror because the picture tubes had to be so long they went all the way down to the floor. So if you had your furniture like that turned this way, you wouldn't have any room. So this was a 12-inch picture, and this one was found in a closed-up radio store, and it's the only one of that model that survived. These are early tubes. Do you recognize one of these? This is an original iconoscope, the TV camera tube.
Yeah.
So this would be sitting in the TV camera. The lens would be about here, and the subject out here, and it would project onto this screen.
The screen, yeah.
And then the scanning would come up. There'd be a yoke coil on here.
Yeah.
And this was an experimental one because it was never based. It was just used in a laboratory for testing. And then this is an early picture tube from Dumont.
Yeah.
They used static deflection. So you just put a high voltage for vertical and horizontal plates. And a high voltage connection on here. Dumont, besides making televisions, also made the earlier oscilloscopes.
Yeah.
Back that tube is a Von Arden. Von Arden was building the German television system. So these were the picture tubes on the sets in the 1930s when they televised the Olympics in Berlin. And that's a pretty rare one. Many of those around. Behind it's a static electricity machine from the 1700s.
And they have to tune all of these things.
Yeah, now this is a color TV. Before color TVs with picture tubes,
Yeah.
they had, they called it field sequential, where there's a spinning disc in here. And the disc would go in front of the CRT, even though it's doing a black and white picture, and your eye would blend the red, green, and blue back together to make a color image. There's this one, and there's one of these in the museum in Toronto. But those are very rare too. This is a they call it a Hertzian reflector.
Yeah, the heads. Yeah, I remember the heads. Yeah.
So that'd be the spark gap. So they put an induction coil back here. They'd make the spark, and then this is a coherer, so it had the little metal filings in there. So and then they put a battery and a bell. So when you do the spark here, the filings conduct, and then the bell rings. So that was how Hertz could prove that. You know. These are more early TVs. This is a prototype before the '39 World's Fair. RCA put these in engineers' homes to receive the test signals.
Okay.
You could see how they would have watched a program.
Companies come and go, RCA.
Yeah, RCA was really the controlling factor. What they did was they licensed most of the other companies, so they would use those license fees to do research. And that went on for many years. Hazeltine pretty much did the same thing. They had a licensing company. They had offices in the Navy building, and from there, eventually they went into Manhattan to a bigger location. But they had 13 or 14 companies licensed to build those radios, and they would part of the license fee got you technical consulting. So you could send the diagram of what you were going to do or a model to the lab, and they would test it, make suggestions, and get it back. So those radios were really by far the cream of the crop in the mid-1920s.